good morning, my fellow Liberians. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, home and abroad, and to all my wonderful friends and family and loved ones around the world, in Europe, in America, in Canada, in Australia, South Africa, and other places. We want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And we also want to let you know that you are in our thoughts and our prayers. We know these are difficult times. Yeah, very difficult times for the entire world. So our thoughts and prayer with you. We just wanted to encourage you in time like this. So you're welcome to another edition of Liberia Rising with Sam-Abel Gbinsay. With the kind of situation we face globally, I'll take this time to just inspire people. I like to talk on don't be a scavenger, be a leader. Don't be a scavenger, be a leader. Don't be a scavenger, be a leader. In time like this, be a leader. I want to speak to Liberians, our leadership. When we hear of COVID-19, other leaders are taking decisive measures and steps that aren't going well with other nations. But it's okay. They're taking it for the interest of their own people, the safety and protection of their own people. Our people, our government, ministers, president, vice president, senators, representatives, directors, whatever position you are, pastors, bishops, teachers, principals of schools, of institutions, presidents of universities. Don't be a scavenger, be a leader. A scavenger is an animal that feeds on dead or decaying materials or animals. It is the garbage collector of our ecosystem. A scavenger is the garbage collector of our ecosystem. Even though the scavenger, like the vultures, they play some important role in our ecosystem, that is, they collect the dead plants and materials, but that's not what the eco-like leadership wants to be. That's not the position, that's not the place the eco-like leadership wants to be. Yeah, even though you have your role, yeah, you can clean the garbage, you can take care of the dead things, dead materials, but that's not where the eco-like leadership, a leadership with eco-like character. You don't want to be a scavenger. That's not where you want to be. Because you know the reason why that's not where you want to be? Scavenge or scavenging carries the idea of sitting around and just complain. Yeah, just sit around and just complain when the damage is already done. That's all you do. You just sit around and just complain. But you know what? The ego-like leadership is ahead of the situation. You are above and ahead of the situation. Because you are above, you see the attack coming and you prepare for it. You don't allow it catch you with your pants down. Don't be a scavenger, be a leader. You know why you shouldn't be a scavenger, you should be a leader? Because the scavenger leader expects but never inspects. The scavenger leader expects and never inspect. The scavenger leader expects people to do their job and they don't inspect to make sure people are doing their jobs. It's very serious. When you go in Joshua chapter 7, verse 4, the children of Israel, previously in chapter 6, they just defeated this powerful stronghold of the new nation they are about to establish. And that was Jericho. With a mighty war, huge war. They brought down that war through praise and worshiping God. They go to this small place called Ai, and 36 men lost their lives. And Joshua comes back crying on God. Chapter 7, verse 4 to 13. He said, God, why did you allow this to happen? God, it was better we stay on the other side of the Jordan. We were content staying on the other side. Because you know why? You're going to wipe our name up Why God will wipe up your name? He said, because the enemy, when they hear this was done to us, they're going to attack us. Everybody going to see there's a piece of meat, piece of pie, we can take our share. That's what Joshua is saying. He expects the people, and why he's saying that? He don't know the reason here is that God has said before he captured Jericho, nobody take a pin. Everything in that city has been dedicated to destruction. It has been dedicated to destruction. So Joshua expected that the army, the fighting men will obey, they will follow. And they go in, Achan takes stuff he shouldn't have taken. And the things he took become a curse. He goes and hid it among his own goods. Now they go to the next small place, Ai, with just 30,000 men because the city was very small, and they lose 36 men. And he comes back to God. Because after the victory, he should have inspected to make sure people are doing what they were told to do. To make sure people are carrying on their responsibility. That's one of our problems in this country. We give people responsibility, we don't inspect. When I hear people talk, all they do is, I expect the minister will do his work. I expect that person will do their work. I expect. Because we expect. That's why we got cars in the street that now register. They don't have good brakes, no good tail light. They shouldn't be in the street at all, but they keep plotting the streets and they put people's lives at risk. Because we expect. That's why police will stop you anyhow. They don't, and just all they want is give them some money, because we expect they will do their job. They compromise the safety of people. They compromise the laws and the integrity of the system. That's why because we expect. That's why all the officers won't do their job. And the next thing is, the scavenger leaders blame others instead of taking responsibility to act. The scavenger blame others. It doesn't just expect and not inspect, it blame others. Joshua is saying to God, you are the one, you brought us here. We should have stayed on the other side. Look at what you did to us. God said, Joshua, rise up. The real problem is not the thing that is defeating you. The real problem is the access point. The access point is right in your midst. And you can't deal with the situation where you got control over. You can't handle it and you're thinking that the situation is far off. Forget about the situation that is far off. Deal with the one that is right within your midst. Don't be a scavenger. Be a leader. That's what God told Joshua. He said, rise up. Check among your midst. The accursed thing, the accursed family, the accursed man is in your midst. The man who is a problem, he's right there. And you blame other people. And you got authority, you got leadership. You got decision-making power. But you lack the will. That's why all these things are happening. That's why you've been defeated. Don't sit around and complain every time. Let this situation catch you with your pants down. This is why I want to say to Liberians, our national leadership, to the president, to the vice president, to the leadership of the House of Legislature, both houses, to the judiciary, to ministries and agencies. This is my appeal to you. I'm passionate this morning. Your leadership decision making, life and death depend on your leadership decision making at this critical time. I watched the video of this government official, Blama, and I see that people are not in charge. Even just to go and get him, very irresponsible. Those who are going, nobody in charge, nobody directing, nobody is in command. And other people standing around seeing like we're shooting a movie. And all kinds of things. Why the man is coming from Europe? Why was he even allowed to pass through the airport? And I listened to the health authority giving a press conference, and they said it's unfortunate that they passed through, he sneaked through our system. Beloved, this is not, and this is the thing about Liberia. Every time people try to say something, we think it's political. People got to rise up and learn to do their job. And when people are given responsibility, those who regulate the system should inspect and making sure people doing their job. We got to know, even if you are a government official, where your laws, your rights stops, another rights begin. You can't do this kind of thing and put people's life at risk because somebody didn't just do their job. Somebody at that airport didn't do their job. Somebody didn't do their job because in their mind they fear some connection. Beloved, what is this? If you are in a position, you can't be allowed to do your job. Just resign. That's being brave enough. Why we can't learn to stand up to the system? How will we fix the system if we're comfortable with the system and we know it's damaging us? If you can rise up and fix the thing, then leave it. And we sit around and it gets damaged, and then before we complain. Do we have the idea? We don't have what it takes. We should be preventing and not allowing situation to catch up with our pants down. Fellow Liberians, if we must fix this nation, don't be a scavenger in whatever area of leadership. Be a leader, the eagle-like leader. Be a leader and just do your job well. God bless you. Liberia rising. Liberia will rise. And I believe in a Liberia rising that works if we all stop being scavengers and become leaders. If the video has been a blessing to you, you can like, you can share, you can leave your comment. Thank you.